Navajo Upper Antelope Canyon is a slot canyon located in the American Southwest on Navajo land east of Lecce, Arizona. It consists of 6 distinct and scenic slot canyon sections within the Navajo Reservation. Upper Antelope Canyon, also known as the Crack, Rattlesnake Canyon, Owl Canyon, Mountain Sheep Canyon, Canyon X, and Lower Antelope Canyon, also known as the Corkscrew. Along with a hiking trail to Rainbow Bridge National Monument, it is one of the main attractions of the Lake Powell Navajo Tribal Park. The Navajo name for Upper Antelope Canyon is Tse-Beganilini, meaning the place where water runs through the slot canyon rocks. Lower Antelope Canyon is called Hasdistazi, or Spiral Rock Arches. Both are located in the Lecce chapter of the Navajo Nation and can only be accessed through guided tours led by Navajo guides. Antelope Canyon follows the route of Antelope Creek, which the National Hydrography Dataset describes as an intermittent stream. The upper marker indicates the entrance to Lower Antelope Canyon, while the lower marker shows the entrance to Upper Antelope Canyon. The canyon was formed by the erosion of Navajo sandstone, primarily caused by flash flooding and other subaerial processes. During the monsoon season, rainwater flows into the large basin above the slot canyon sections, gaining speed and carrying sand as it rushes into the narrow passageways. Over time, this process has carved and deepened the corridors, smoothing the rock surfaces into the canyon's characteristic flowing shapes. Antelope Canyon is a highly popular destination for visitors and a significant source of tourism income for the Navajo Nation. It has been open for guided tours since 1983, initially operated by the Pearl Begay family, and became part of the Navajo Tribal Park in 1997. In addition to the upper and lower canyons, other nearby slot canyons such as Rattlesnake Canyon, Owl Canyon, and Mountain Sheep Canyon, part of the same drainage system, can also be visited. Photography inside Antelope Canyon is challenging due to the extreme exposure range, often exceeding 10 eV, created by light reflecting off the canyon walls. Banff National Park is Canada's first national park, established in 1885 as Rocky Mountains Park. Located in Alberta's Rocky Mountains, about 110 to 180 kilometers, 68 to 112 miles, west of Calgary, Banff covers 6,641 square kilometers, 2,564 square miles, of mountainous terrain featuring glaciers, ice fields, dense coniferous forests, and alpine landscapes. It borders Yoho National Park and provincial forests to the west, Kootenay National Park to the south, and Kananaskis Country to the southeast. The park's main commercial hub is the town of Banff, situated in the Bow River Valley. The Canadian Pacific Railway played a pivotal role in Banff's early development, constructing the Banff Springs Hotel and Chateau Lake Louise, and promoting tourism through extensive advertising. In the early 20th century, roads were built in Banff, some by World War I internees, and others through public works projects during the Great Depression. The Icefields Parkway, which begins at Lake Louise, connects Banff to Jasper National Park in the north. Since the 1960s, Banff's accommodations have remained open year-round, with annual tourism surpassing 5 million visitors by the 1990s. Millions more travel through the park via the Trans-Canada Highway. With over 3 million annual visitors today, the park's ecosystem has faced increasing pressure. In the mid-1990s, Parks Canada launched a 2-year study, leading to management recommendations and new policies aimed at preserving the park's ecological integrity. Banff National Park has a subarctic climate and encompasses 3 ecoregions: montane, subalpine, and alpine. Lodgepole pine dominates the lower elevation forests, while Engelmann spruce is common at higher elevations below the tree line. Above the tree line, the landscape consists mainly of rock and ice. The park is home to wildlife such as grizzly bears, cougars, wolverines, elk, bighorn sheep, and moose, as well as hundreds of bird species. A limited number of reptile and amphibian species also inhabit the park. The park's mountains consist of sedimentary rock that was thrust eastward over younger rock strata between 80 and 55 million years ago. Over the past few million years, glaciers periodically covered much of the park. Today, glaciers remain only on mountain slopes, including the Columbia Icefield, the largest continuous glacial mass in the Canadian Rockies. Erosion from water and ice has sculpted the mountains into their present-day forms. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system, consisting of over 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands, stretching for more than 2,300 kilometers, 1,400 miles, across an area of approximately 344,400 square kilometers, 133,000 square miles. Located in the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland, Australia, the reef is separated from the mainland by a channel up to 160 miles wide and over 61 meters, 200 feet, deep. Visible from outer space, it is the largest single structure on Earth made by living organisms. Built by billions of tiny coral polyps, the reef supports a vast diversity of marine life. It was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1981, listed by CNN as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world in 1997, recognized as a state icon of Queensland by the Queensland National Trust in 2006, and included in the Australian World Heritage Places list in 2007. Much of the reef is protected by the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park, which helps limit the impact of human activities such as fishing and tourism. However, the ecosystem faces significant threats, including runoff from human-made pollutants, climate change and mass coral bleaching, dredging sludge disposal, and cyclical outbreaks of the crown of thorns starfish. A 2012 study published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that the reef had lost more than half its coral cover since 1985. This was reaffirmed by a 2020 study showing over half of the coral cover was lost between 1995 and 2017, with the full impact of the widespread 2020 bleaching event yet to be determined. For thousands of years, the Great Barrier Reef has been known to and used by Aboriginal Australians and Torres Strait Islander peoples, playing a vital role in their culture and spirituality. Today, it is one of Australia's most popular tourist destinations, especially around the Whitsunday Islands and Cairns. Tourism generates more than $3 billion Australian dollars annually for the region. In November 2014, Google introduced Google Underwater Street View in 3D, allowing virtual exploration of the reef. In March 2016, reports revealed that coral bleaching was more extensive than previously thought, severely affecting the northern regions of the reef due to rising ocean temperatures. That same year, Outside magazine published an obituary for the reef, which was criticized for being premature and potentially undermining conservation efforts. In March 2017, the journal Nature reported that high water temperatures during 2016 had killed large sections of an 800-kilometer stretch in the northern reef, attributing the damage to climate change. By 2018, baby coral numbers had dropped sharply, a result of the 2016-17 bleaching events that killed many mature breeding corals. Scientists warned that if the trend continues, it could lead to a long-term reorganization of the reef ecosystem. Under the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Act, 1975, Section 54, an outlook report assessing the reef's health, pressures, and future must be published every 5 years. The most recent report was released in 2019. In March 2022, another mass bleaching event was confirmed, raising fresh concerns about the reef's resilience, especially in relation to potential El Niño impacts. The Australian Institute of Marine Science conducts annual surveys of the reef. Its 2022 report showed the greatest recovery in 36 years, mainly due to the rapid regrowth of acropora corals, which dominate 2/3 of the reef. Milford Sound is a fjord in the southwest of New Zealand's South Island, located within Fiordland National Park, the Piopiotaki Milford Sound Marine Reserve, and the Te Waihipunamu World Heritage Site. It has been ranked as the world's top travel destination in an international survey, 2008 Traveler's Choice Destinations Awards by TripAdvisor, and is widely regarded as New Zealand's most famous tourist attraction. The writer Rudyard Kipling once described it as the eighth wonder of the world. The fjord is most often accessed via State Highway 94 by tour coach, which terminates at a small settlement also named Milford Sound. Milford Sound/Piopiotaki is one of about 90 locations in New Zealand to receive a dual name under a 1998 Treaty of Waitangi settlement with Ngai Tahu, recognizing its cultural importance to both Maori and Pakeha, non-Maori, New Zealanders. This dual name combines the Maori name with the former official European name, used together as a single designation rather than as interchangeable alternatives. In Te Reo Maori, the fjord is called Piopiotaki, named after the now extinct piopio, a thrush-like bird that once lived in New Zealand. According to Maori legend, when the demigod Maui died after attempting to win immortality for humankind, a lone piopio flew to the fjord in mourning. The word tahi means one in Maori, referencing this single bird. The European name was given in 1823 by sealer John Grono, who named it Milford Sound after Milford Haven in his native Wales. The Cleddau River, which flows into the fjord, was also named after a Welsh river. Formed over millions of years through glaciation, Milford Sound stretches 15 kilometers, 9.3 miles, inland from the Tasman Sea at Dale Point, the fjord's mouth, surrounded by sheer rock cliffs rising 1,200 meters or more on either side. Among its most notable peaks are the Elephant, 1,517 meters on 4,977 feet, said to resemble an elephant's head, and the Lion, 1,302 meters, 4,272 feet, shaped like a crouching lion. The fjord features 2 permanent waterfalls, Lady Bowen Falls and Stirling Falls. After heavy rain, numerous temporary waterfalls cascade down the steep rock walls, fed by rain-soaked moss. These ephemeral falls can last for several days after the rain stops. with an average annual rainfall of 6,412 millimeters, 252 inches, extremely high, even for New Zealand's west coast. Milford Sound is the wettest inhabited place in the country and one of the wettest in the world. Rainfall can reach 250 millimeters or 10 inches in a single day, creating countless temporary waterfalls, some over 1,000 meters or 3,300 feet in height. Smaller waterfalls from such elevations may never reach the fjord below, dispersing into mist before hitting the water. Mount Roraima is the highest peak of the Pacaraima chain of Tepui, tabletop mountains, in South America. It lies at the junction of Brazil, Guyana, and Venezuela, its sheer cliffs rising 400 to 1,000 meters above the surrounding terrain. The highest point, at 2,810 meters, 9,220 feet, is on the southern edge of the plateau within Venezuela, while another peak at 2,772 meters, 9,094 feet, marks the highest point in Guyana, located near the tri-point of the three countries. The name Roraima comes from the language of the Payman people. Roroi means blue-green, and Ema means great. Intense rainfall over millennia has leached the surface and sculpted the summit into a striking, otherworldly landscape. The mountain's geographic isolation has allowed unique plant and animal species to evolve, many of which are found nowhere else. Western exploration began only in the 19th century, with the first recorded ascent by a British expedition in 1884. Despite later visits, the mountain's ecology and geology remain only partly studied. Thanks to its dramatic scenery and relatively accessible south-face route, Mount Roraima is now a popular destination for trekkers. Geographically, Mount Roraima sits in the northern part of South America, within the Pacaraima Mountains at the eastern edge of the Guyana Shield. Its area is divided among three countries. About 85% lies in Venezuela, south and west, 10% in Guyana, north, and 5% in Brazil, east. Imagine a dark winter sky where waves of color slowly drift and dance. Shades of green, violet, and sometimes red or blue paint the heavens as if the universe itself is creating a masterpiece. This is the natural wonder that has fascinated people for centuries, the Northern Lights. Norway and Iceland are among the most breathtaking places on Earth to witness this magical spectacle. In Norway, the city of Tromsø, the Lofoten Islands, and the regions close to the Arctic Circle become the heart of this celestial show during winter. Here, clear skies, crisp air, and long nights give you the best chance to see the lights in all their glory. Iceland, with its volcanoes, glaciers, and lava fields, offers a dramatic stage for the aurora borealis. Step away from Reykjavik and head toward the quiet mountain roads, small fishing villages like Fjarðabyggð, or the wide-open landscapes of Thingvellir National Park, and you'll feel as though you've entered a natural theater built for the light's dazzling dance. Scientifically, the northern lights occur when charged particles from the sun collide with gases in Earth's atmosphere. But anyone who has stood beneath their shimmering display knows there's more to it than science. There's a sense of magic, a connection to something vast and timeless. The best time to see the northern lights in Norway and Iceland is from late September to mid-March. During these months, the nights are long and the conditions are perfect for the lights to shine bright. All you need is patience, warm clothing, and an open heart, ready to be amazed by nature's masterpiece. And for many, seeing the northern lights is a once-in-a-lifetime memory. In that moment, time seems to stand still, the cold disappears, and you feel just a little closer to the endless beauty of the universe. Plitvice Lakes National Park is one of the oldest and largest national parks in Croatia. In 1979, it was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List for its outstanding and picturesque series of tufa lakes, caves, and interconnected waterfalls. Founded in 1949, the park lies in the mountainous karst region of central Croatia, near the border with Bosnia and Herzegovina. A major north-south road passes through the park, linking Croatia's inland regions with the Adriatic coast. The protected area covers 296.85 square kilometers, 114.61 square miles, with about 90% located in Ličko-Senj County and the remaining 10% in Karlovac County. The park's lakes are arranged in cascading tiers. 16 lakes are visible from the surface, renowned for their striking colors, ranging from azure and green to gray and deep blue. These colors change constantly depending on the mineral content, aquatic life, and the angle of sunlight. The name Plitvice first appeared in a written record in 1777 by Dominik Vukasovic, a priest from Otočac. The name reflects the natural processes that formed the lakes. Over centuries, water has shaped shallow basins, slowly transforming the limestone landscape. Travertine barriers grew as mineral deposits accumulated, slowing the flow of water and forming natural dams, structures that are still growing today. The park's 296.85 square kilometers spans two counties, Jupanija, Likasenj, 90.7%, and Karlovac, 9.3%, placing it under national jurisdiction. The total water surface is about 2 square kilometers, 0.77 square miles, with the two largest lakes, Proszczansko Jezero and Kozjak, making up around 80% of that area. These are also the deepest lakes, at 37 meters, 121 feet, and 47 meters, 154 feet, respectively. The others do not exceed 25 meters, 82 feet. From the highest lake to the lowest, there is an elevation drop of 133 meters, 436 feet. Human history in the region is long and complex. In the 6th century, the Avars settled here alongside the Croats, who eventually resisted Avar rule and made the area their permanent home. During the Middle Ages, Mongol invasions threatened the local population. Stability and economic recovery came under Croatian rule, particularly during the governance of the noble Zrinski and Frankopan families. On the remains of an ancient Japod and Roman settlement, a monastery was built, likely belonging to either the Order of St. Paul I Hermit, Pavlinci, or the Knights Templar. Today, only fragments of its travertine foundation and walls, Gradina, remain. Over the centuries, the region became a cultural crossroads. Alongside native Croats serving in the Austrian military, settlers from Central Europe arrived, as well as Orthodox Serbs, fleeing Ottoman persecution. In exchange for land in abandoned areas, these newcomers served in the military frontier, a turbulent border zone where frontiersmen were tasked with defending against frequent invasions. Due to centuries of conflict and devastation, the area once earned the grim nickname Hortus Diabolus, the Devil's Garden. Santorini, officially Thera or Thera, is a Greek island in the southern Aegean Sea, located about 200 kilometers, 120 miles southeast of mainland Greece. It is the largest island in a small circular archipelago formed by the Santorini caldera and is the southernmost member of the Cyclades group. Covering approximately 73 square kilometers, 28 square miles, it had a population of 15,480 according to the 2021 census. The municipality of Santorini comprises the inhabited islands of Santorini and Therasia, as well as the uninhabited islands of Nea Kameni, Palaya Kameni, Aspernici, Anidros, and Christiana. Together, they have a total land area of 91 square kilometers, 35 square miles. Santorini belongs to the Thera regional unit. The island sits on the most active volcanic center in the South Aegean volcanic arc, a chain stretching roughly 500 kilometers, 300 miles in length, and 20 to 40 kilometers, 12 to 25 miles in width. Volcanic activity in the wider region began around 3 to 4 million years ago, while volcanism on Thera itself started about 2 million years ago, with dacitic lava flows emerging from vents near Akrotiri. Around 3,600 years ago, one of the largest volcanic eruptions in recorded history occurred here, creating a vast water-filled caldera and leaving thick layers of volcanic ash across the island. The name Santorini has been in use since at least the mid-12th century, first recorded by the geographer Al-Idrisi around 1154. It derives from Saint Irene, Santa Irini, named after an old church in the village of Parissa. In antiquity, the island was known as Thera, after Theras, the Spartan leader who colonized it, and earlier still as Calliste, the most beautiful, and according to later tradition, Strongzil, the round one. The official name Thera was reinstated in the 19th century, but the colloquial Santorini remains widely used. In recent decades, the growth of tourism has driven economic and demographic expansion. The island has been ranked among the world's top destinations by outlets such as Travel plus Leisure, the BBC, and US News. It welcomes an estimated 2 million visitors each year. Santorini promotes sustainable tourism and hosts various major events, including conferences and sporting activities. To preserve its fragile landscape, the island's pumice quarries were closed in 1986. In 2007, the cruise ship MSC Diamond ran aground and sank inside the caldera. By 2019, Santorini had become especially popular with Asian couples, many of whom travel there for pre-wedding photo shoots set against its dramatic volcanic scenery. Deep in the wild, windswept expanses of Chilean Patagonia lies one of the world's most spectacular natural wonders, Torres del Paine National Park. Spanning over 2,400 square kilometers of rugged mountains, glacial lakes, and vast steppes, this park offers an unparalleled glimpse into the raw beauty of the southern wilderness. At the center stand the iconic Torres del Paine, 3 towering granite spires whose sheer faces soar nearly 2,500 meters into the sky. These ancient rock formations have witnessed millennia of geological change. sculpted by powerful glaciers and relentless winds. Their dramatic silhouettes have captivated explorers, photographers, and nature lovers from around the globe. But Torres del Paine is far more than its famous peaks. The park's landscape is a mosaic of vibrant ecosystems, emerald forests, shimmering turquoise lakes, sprawling grasslands, and jagged glaciers. Hiking trails wind through this varied terrain, from gentle walks to challenging multi-day treks, allowing visitors to experience the park's wonders up close. Wildlife thrives here in remarkable diversity. Spot the elusive puma stealthily moving through the underbrush, watch majestic Andean condors soaring overhead, or glimpse herds of guanacos grazing peacefully in the valleys. Birdsong fills the air, and the crisp Patagonian breeze carries the scent of wildflowers and pine. The magic of Torres del Paine lies not only in its grandeur, but also in the profound sense of solitude and connection to nature it inspires. Whether watching a sunrise paint the peaks in fiery orange or sitting quietly beside a pristine lake, visitors find moments of peace and wonder that linger long after they leave. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park is a national forest park located in Zhangjiajie, Hunan Province, China. It is one of several national parks within the larger Wulingyuan Scenic Area. In 1982, the park was recognized as China's first national forest park, covering an area of 4,810 hectares, 11,900 acres. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park is part of the much larger Wulingyuan Scenic Area, which spans 397.5 square kilometers, 153.5 square miles. In 1992, Wulingyuan was officially designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Later, in 2001, the Ministry of Land and Resources approved it as the Zhangjiajie Sandstone Peak Forest National Geopark, covering 3,600 square kilometers. In 2004, Zhangjiajie was listed as a UNESCO Global Geopark. The park's most notable geographic features are the pillar-like formations found throughout the area. Although these resemble karst terrain, Zhangjiajie's landscape is not underlain by limestone and is not formed by the chemical dissolution typical of limestone karst. Instead, these pillars are the result of many years of physical erosion. Much of the weathering occurs due to the expansion of ice during winter and the growth of plants on the pillars. The region experiences moist weather year-round, resulting in dense foliage. Weathered material is primarily carried away by streams. These formations are a distinctive hallmark of the Chinese landscape and have inspired many ancient Chinese paintings. One of the park's quartz sandstone pillars, the 1,080-meter, 3,540-foot Southern Sky Column, was officially renamed Avatar Hallelujah Mountain in January 2010 in honor of the movie Avatar. The film's director and production designers said they drew inspiration for the floating mountains from real landscapes around the world, especially from Guilin, Huangshan, and Zhangjiajie in Hunan Province.